Hello everyone, Benny Williams here, and I'm back with another video for you. Last video I did was probably nearing on 2 weeks ago, and I thought it's slipping away a little bit again. I don't want to get back into the habit of not releasing videos, so I thought I'd better make an effort, get back on the ball again, and plan on doing a couple over the next couple of days, hopefully even this evening if I feel up to it. The last time I did one of this particular video, which is going to be the Super Nintendo collection. This is going to be box free, and the last time I did one of these was about 8 months ago, before my mental health got the better of me and I wasn't able to do YouTube for quite a while until over the last couple of months. So let's crack on with it anyway. So as I said before, these games are just in a random order, just however I put them in the box, but I know that this is a pretty good box, and I thought, you know, why sort of save the good stuff till last and just get on with it now. So apart from this one, I think I have another two boxes, another two boxes to go through, and then there's another box that I've got to put together from all the games that I bought over the last few months. So, first game up is Donkey Kong. Let's see if it'll focus. Trying to focus on my face, that's why. So it's Donkey Kong Country. This is one of my original games, and I absolutely love this game. I know that there's a lot of people that have a sort of love-hate relationship with it, where they just don't like the game. It's just one of those games that how can you not like it? It's an incredible game, from the 3D environments and the rendering and things. The platform action is just superb. All the secrets, it's a collectathon game. Some brilliant characters in there. It's just an absolutely superb game, and I used to be really good at it. I used to have a magazine where I had all the secret areas. I knew where all the secret areas were, all the secret levels, so I'd be able to play through it, and I was just excellent at the mineshaft bit, which everyone hates, and that wasn't a problem to me, and I still recall those secrets to this day. So, fantastic series, and there's 3 in that series. Next up we have Super Tennis. I don't know if I've ever played this one or not, or you know, it might be my wife's, and that's probably how I acquired it. I'm not quite sure, but I don't remember playing it, but I may have. So if I haven't, I'm going to have to give it a go and see for myself what it's like at some point, which I'm not able to at the moment because I haven't got my Snes set up properly. So next one is Yogi Bear's Cartoon Capers, which I got from Kelly Chapman in a bundle. £30 for 4 games, I think it was. There it goes. There we are. So many people have a problem with this focus, with the autofocus on the cameras. But I suppose it gets there eventually, doesn't it? Next game, Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure. I do like this game. It's very difficult. I think when I used to play it back in the day, I used to be able to get 3 or 4 levels in, but when I've played it a few times recently, I just really struggle with it. It's just a difficult game now. I just got to spend a bit more time playing it and getting to know it again, and getting to know the levels and the enemies' moves and things. Or say enemies' moves, I mean the enemies' movement animations, I should say. Next game is an original game, and it is that Versus or... Well, I can't see if it says Versus or not, but it's Battletoads Double Dragon. From what I remember about this, it's just quite a bog standard game. It's just Battletoads, just with Double Dragon characters thrown in the mix. Not an awful game, it's not a great game, it's a reasonable game, I think. Quite a difficult one. I mean, the original Battletoads, and well, the Snes version isn't the original because it was originally on the NES before it came onto the Snes. But that's a great game, but that is a very difficult one at that. Come on, you zoom in or what? Oh, I nearly had it then. I'm not gonna do it. Come on. No, it's not having it, and I'm not spending all day long trying to get it to focus. So, moving on to the next one, we have Mortal Kombat 3. Original game. This the label on it is the main cheat for it, I think, to unlock nearly everything in the game. And I still remember it by heart, but it's handy to have on the label, and I've never tried to remove it. I've just left it there just because, yeah, I remember me and a friend were playing it and we thought, oh, wouldn't it be good to, you know, see how much of the game you can do, how much of it you can explore. And he said, actually, I've got a friend that knows all the cheats, so he only lived around the corner, so we walked round to his house and he just recalled the cheat just like that. And like him, myself, I've never forgotten it ever since. Next one, highly sought after game. It's a great game, and I'm not a massive fan of turn-based RPGs, but this is a brilliant game. And, you know, if I'm saying turn-based RPG, you quite possibly know what it is already. It is Secret of Mana. It's not my original cart, but I've had it since I was a teenager. And it's got a little bit of a sad story about it, to be honest. Well, not a sad story, but not a very nice story. Basically, the way I acquired it is I took it from who was my stepbrother at the time in revenge for him killing my hamster. And out of jealousy, he basically, you know, this was back in, it's got to have been the 90s. Yeah, this was back in the 90s, so yeah, everyone was poor pretty much back then. And I had a big massive cardboard box that I used to stack all my clothes in to keep them in because we couldn't afford a wardrobe or anything like that. So out of spite, he crushed my hamster underneath the box, and I could just see the hamster's backside sticking out of there, and there was no way he could crawl under there and get himself squashed and flattened like that. I know it was done out of spite because he was jealous. So I took that game from him as a revenge, and I've had it ever since. Next game up is another familiar one because I've got 2 copies of it. Mario Kart. So this is going to either be my original or my wife's original, and I might see if I can swap it for another game perhaps. We shall see. One of the few sports games I actually enjoyed as a child. It was actually a really good game. Probably wouldn't really want to play it now, but I do plan, as I mentioned before, on doing Snes Let's Plays at some point, and I do want to start that series. And I was going to say that I'm dreading playing this game, but it's not a terrible game. It's, you know, it's a decent game. It's a football game, as I said, and it is International Superstar Soccer. It's about one of the better football games, along with Striker at least anyway. I'm just not a fan of football, to be honest. Focus! Seems to sort of be the sweet spot. I have to try and remember to try and aim to put it in there. Next game, I was a bit disappointed when I got this because I thought, you know, I paid £7 for it at a car boot, and I thought, oh, £7 for this game, what a bargain. But then it's a puzzle game. I quite like some puzzle games, but this is sort of a Puyo Puyo clone, and I'm not too keen on those games. But when I saw it, I was very excited because I thought it was going to be Kirby platformer, but instead turned out to be Kirby's Avalanche. So I think I got this last year, car boot, never played it yet, not even tested it, but that's the thing with me, I don't ever test my games, they're just a sort of potluck favourite. But then I've been quite lucky that they've always worked, I guess. So, as I was saying, this is quite a good box because I've got Donkey Kong in there, I've got Mario Kart in there, I've had Secret of Mana in there, and quite possibly my favourite game of all time, definitely between this and Zelda A Link to the Past, they've got to be tied for the best game on the system. That's in my opinion, as well as a lot of other people as well, but just incredible game, incredible storyline, incredible atmosphere. It's an original game. And it is, of course, it's Super Metroid. Just absolutely iconic. I love the series. It's absolutely incredible. I've never managed to beat it. I always seem to get so far into it, and then I go to play it again and I just completely forget where I've been and which areas, so I end up restarting it again from there. But one day I think I'll try and beat it, and I'm not going to do it with any cheating or anything like that. I'm just going to see if I can beat it, just fair and square. So it'll probably never happen, but I'll try one day. Another original game. It's a great game actually. I never played it as much as a child and never really appreciated it as much as I do now. And it's a compilation game. It is Tetris and Dr. Mario. Tetris is just a great game. I was just always crap at it, but it's one of those that you just got to constantly play to get any good at it, or even anywhere near where you could play it for longer than 5 minutes without dying. Dr. Mario, on the other hand, as gorgeous as it looks, it's just difficult. I can't do it, I can't get to grips with it. But again, I haven't played it for many, many years now, so maybe in the future. Next game is Super Strike Gunner. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know if it's an original game, if it's my wife's, or if it was my wife's ex-brother-in-law, who's an absolute shit, he's an horrible guy. And in the first episode I did, where I talked about the Snes scope and the Snes scope game, I had those off him because basically when he decided he was going to leave my sister-in-law, he was cheating on her with someone else, and when he decided that he was going to leave, he took everything that they owned together and then took everything of hers. So he took all the DVDs out of her DVD case but left all the cases. I mean, how horrible and selfish is that? And she didn't say that she wanted anything, she let him take whatever he wanted, but he just took everything that he could. And we also know that he organised for my in-laws to be broken into for some power tools. That's how nasty of a bastard he is, and that's why I took the Snes scope and the game to get my own back on him. Next game up, Jurassic Park. I think this is my wife's game. I don't think it's an original game of mine. I believe it's my wife's, and I only really played it a couple of times and I'm not really very good at it, but the second one always looks better than this original one anyway. But I know that the Mega Drive version is supposed to be good at the original, but I've never really played that either. This next one is a movie time game. As a kid, it was one of the funniest films that I owned. I absolutely loved it and I watched it on repeat so often. And the once my mum had us all in one of the living rooms telling us all off, and you know, it was hard times back then. It was like pull your trousers down and get hit with a a belt or a slipper in front of everyone, which, you know, it wasn't embarrassing enough to pull my trousers down and hit me, but to pull my pants down as well, so I was bare bottomed. But I remember one day, it was on in the background, I was watching it on TV, like I say, watching it on repeat a lot, and there's a scene that comes up where you've got these two guys that are at this camp place, and they've got a tin of beans, and they eat this massive tin of beans, and they've just got gas for ages throughout it. And I knew it was a funny scene, and I knew it was coming up, and I was just smirking, and my mum was just telling us all off and getting really cross with me, and I was just smirking because I knew what was coming up, and I was just couldn't keep a straight face. I was trying to. She just looked at me and she was like, "Are you laughing at me?" And I was like, no. So, "Are you laughing at me?" And yeah, I had my trousers pulled down and got a beating with the slipper on my backside. But the game in question is Dennis. Never actually played this game. I think I got this a couple of years ago for a pretty decent price. So I don't know if it's really a very good game or average or what, but I know it's a platforming game. But I just don't know what that one's like. And then the final game of box 3 is quite a new game. I'm quite a fan of the series, and I didn't know about this one, but I had to get it. It's part of the Desert Strike series, I think. I could be wrong, but I'm sure it is. But the game in question is Desert Fighter, which I got around about the same time as Dennis, if I remember rightly. So at the time I was only paying under £5 for games that I could try and get or try and win. It's in really nice condition, this is actually. But it won't focus. There we go. Thanks, Snes. So anyway, thank you for tuning in and checking me out. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my other videos and you haven't subscribed yet, give me a subscribe. I've got 22 subscribers at the moment, so thank you to all those that have subscribed. I really appreciate it, and it'd be lovely to just get a few more. I really appreciate that. So till next time, Retro Heads, take care. Thank you.